is so red. I was out in the sun.
I know, you could tell, like,
what's up, Battles?
What up?
what's going on, Brendan Battles? How you doing?
Easy.
Good. How are you guys?
Good, man. So obviously, we know you. You've fought for Cage Times before, so we don't have to go into the history of what you've been doing to get to where you are today. One interesting thing that I took away from interviewing with Ross is that he has history with Domingos and Jorgen, two of your main training partners. How does that help you in going into this matchup with Ross?
I mean, before Roz decided to fight, wanted to fight me, he was one of the guys that trained with us. So we've trained together before. Having guys like Jorgen Domingos, people, Jorgen put him away, and then Domingos put him to a decision. They obviously have their credentials and 2 cents to put in. At the end of the day, I am a different martial artist than both of them. I have my skill set, so I don't think it'd be similar fights, but more or less the same result.
Yeah, they're very striking, heavyweights, both Domingos and Jorgen. And
Domingos is a wrestler, though, too, right?
Oh, they both wrestle.
That boy can wrestle, let me tell you. Domingos
wrestler.
By far the best athlete at 300 pounds I've ever seen.
Yeah. He's a freak.
He strikes like he's a goddamn lightweight. He came to wrestle with us like one day with me, Lee, B, and Jorgen. I turned and looked at Lee. I was like, yo, we got to stop doing this because he's going to out-wrestle me in like 2 months. He picks things up quick. He's nasty.
Oh, so he didn't wrestle before. He just picked it up.
I can't speak for that. I know he's wrestled, he has wrestled through MMA, but I don't think he's ever had a true wrestling approach the way me and Lee do it.
Yeah.
So you could see when he was with us within that first hour, he was picking up a lot quick.
Getting the rounds down a regiment. Yeah, I got a couple of fight camps that are going simultaneous down there. I love it. And the training all kind of like, and you've said you've trained with Ross before and you're talking about like the heavyweight community in the Northeast. And I like how you're all kind of training together and all still willing to fight each other too. It's kind of a cool thing to see from my spot.
So, mentioning, Ross, there's no doubt about it. You're a very large gentleman, Mr. Battles. This is going to be the first time you're kind of competing against somebody that
borderline undersized
that you're smaller than. I'm assuming, I followed, obviously you fought for us as amateur. We've seen you in the pros. Have you ever fought somebody as large, even going back to your wrestling days? Usually you're probably the bigger guy.
Yes and no. I mean, my amateur career, I was always under 240 because I was commercially fishing back then. I most recently when I came back, I was 250 for that fight in June, and then I was more towards 265 for August. So we've been trying to keep weight on. But I don't think my size, obviously my physical size is intimidating to the most general public, but that's the furthest thing to my best attributes. I'm by far one of the hardest workers in the room. You can put whoever you want next to me. You can put a lightweight next to me. I'm sure I can outwork them. I'm extremely athletic for my size.
So do you think that would be the difference maker in this fight? Is your athleticism?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You don't, all egos aside, you don't get a full ride at a D1 school for nothing. It's less than 1% from high school football players go to be D1A football players in college. Been there, done that. Everything that I've done, I've always been top tier of.
Yeah.
Especially in Massachusetts. We won football scholarship out of this state. That's reserved like Texas.
Tyler Pimentel says you're
scholarship just of my wrestling. I just won a wrestling. I won that football scholarship off my wrestling credentials alone.
Oh, so you
I didn't know
didn't
shit
play
about
football? Did you play football?
No, I played football, but I didn't know. No, I played football, but let me tell you, my roommate could tell you the lack thereof of my knowledge compared to everyone else was insane. Like the amount of time we had to spend for me to understand the playbook, I was like, dude, just tell me what I got to do. Where all these other guys, this is what they live, eat, breathe, and I'm like, I wrestle.
Yeah. You just want to smash. Just tell me who to hit.
Yes.
Let me run full speed at him.
There you
Yep.
go. So what going back to the fact that you've trained with two of former Ross's opponents, you've trained with Ross. What is some things that you're looking to take advantage of?
Well, there's no secret that the Cage Titans cage isn't the biggest. So keeping me at the end of your jab is going to be extremely hard. Obviously, we're going to be on the fence a lot. There's not going to be a lot of distance between him and I, and he'll be in a minute's notice that he'll be on the ground, and we can just put him away from there.
So you're thinking of closing the distance this fight. I mean, your last fight, Joshua Marsh, you were really implementing a jab, and you started getting into some really slick striking exchanges there. But that's totally different from what you're expecting.
No, we'll do that. We'll do that.
All right.
At the end of the day, this is another stepping stone to get me where I need to be. So whatever I need to do to put him out is we'll do that. I'm not going to just go out there and just try to take him down. No, I want to stand and bang, but I'm going to seize every opportunity that he gives me. So if that is taking his head off on the feet, then we'll do that. If that means putting him on the cage and beating him up and taking him down, we'll do that too. Anywhere the fight goes, I'm prepared.
Christian Acavaria. He said you're a wrestling savage. I'm assuming he might have wrestled maybe when you were around. He's
he is like a 45 or something.
Yeah, no, but I mean he might know him from the wrestling days. Also, an interesting comment somebody said, they go, you in the MMA have as close to a finishing move like they do in WWE wrestling as anybody. It's the back take ground and pound. Somebody posted that on Instagram the other day. They're like, he's got his own finishing move in MMA, which is taking the back and ground and pound. Is that just a position that's advantageous to you? Is that just something that comes easy, natural?
Wrestling.
I think it just goes back to the wrestling. I mean, when I wrestled, we threw legs a lot. I was one of the few guys at light heavyweight and heavyweight that would run legs. And I'm pretty good and aware of when I'm high, when I'm too low, when I can throw boots in, when I can't. Once I have my boots in, you're gonna. I know how to control you, so you end up with your face in the mat. We're not rolling. I'm looking for a choke. I want to put your face in the mat and beat your face in. I'm not looking to choke you out. I'm not looking to give you a way out. I want the ref to pull me off you. I didn't spend 12 weeks beating the shit out of myself and taking all this time away from my kids to give you an easy way out. So that wrestling position is just the way it turns. It's not like that's something we drill a lot, I can honestly say. I got no answer for it. It just seems we end up there every fight.
Get no answer. I just want to push your face into the mat and beat the shit out of you. Sounds like a pretty solid answer.
It's like the very heavyweights that have bad intentions for the opponent, not talking any smack, but the violence and the friendliness behind both of you guys in this interview is startling and exciting at the same time. I love it.
Safe to say, it's going to be a violent heavyweight title fight on May 27th. You mentioned taking some time away from your family, so we won't keep you much longer. It's been a little bit of time, some hail and some injuries and things like that. What do you want to say to the fans that they can expect on May 27th?
The new and improved Brennan. I mean, this is my, fifth pro fight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fifth pro fight. And every time I've gotten in there, everyone's seen that I've made huge jumps in my game. So yes, we had some injuries. We had to call off that last fight. That sucked. But we have gotten better. You continue to get better every day, and you're going to see a new, well put together Brennan Battles looking to make his next step.
All right, man.
And a lot of violence.
A lot of violence.
Heavyweight violence. I'm stoked, man. Since the first time y'all faced off in the cage, even with a doubleheader in between, it's been a circle on my calendar to call the first heavyweight main event in Cage Titans history. And to have two fighters I'm a fan of, and I think that the stylistic clash is just a brilliant, poetic essence of the fight game, and it's total. I can't wait. So I'm more excited than ever after hearing both of you guys' takes on it, and you guys seem very calm and meditative about hurting each other.
Well,
I got nothing.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to seeing you on May 27th. All right.
Got out, and we're on to the
now.
I mean, how excited are you after hearing both of those guys who have trained together, understand the mutual knowledge of each other's game? They're both students in their own right and practitioners of carnage.
I think I'm excited because like Ross is the type of guy I've seen him at NEF, and I've seen him just knocking guys silly. Like he was coming in on a 3-fight win streak, and he's just dropping guys.